I platinum God of War Ragnarok without using my weapon on Gimme God of War. The platinum is quite simple. Just beat the game, do all the side missions, do all the collectibles, and then finish the platinum with the 2 hardest bosses in the game. During this, I'm only allowed to use my weapons whilst traversing the world and only if completely necessary to move on in a boss fight, like Needhog. I will be able to use other aspects like my shield because it's literally in the punch animation, and I'm allowed to execute enemies because I'm not going to sit there and punch every single enemy to death. And I'm allowed to use my partner because I need any of the help I can get. And with that, let's go into the video.
Oh my gosh, look at it a little longer. Boy. Gosh, that Trace is so ugly. Anyway, the cold outside was getting super cold, so we decided to go look for food. And everything was going good until...
He's just standing there, menacingly!
Anyway, she got smacked by a tree and we made it home safe. Anyway, Fenrir died, but we'll see more of him later, so it's whatever. On to the real important stuff. We saw Mimir and they had a fever dream.
Good boy.
You got me!
But when I awoke, Boy was gone. So of course we have to go searching for him. This is where we finally encounter our first enemies. I didn't realize this game is going to be a lot easier than 2018 God of War because these guys were like little children and I was the Rock. I still couldn't find Boy, so I just kept pounding on innocent people to make myself feel better. I eventually just gave up on looking for Boy because who needs him? I sure don't. And then a bear sideswiped me. Whoa, whoa. Oh god, okay.
After I got a little angry, the bear couldn't handle me anymore. Alright, you got me. He handled me just a little bit, but eventually I got him. I started giving this bear a little bit of brain damage with the elbows to the head and kicking his face. Eventually I just decided, let's just choke the bear out. It doesn't matter. Oh god. We just pummeled Atreus. He's dead. He's never coming back from that. I mean, maybe all this punching to his head will make him a better kid because after last game, I still hate him. After pummeling my own child, I told him he needs to accept the fate of his dead wolf, and we need to go trade.
Oh, battle the bear! First achievement. I forgot I was doing the platinum, actually. Thoroughly disappointed in my son, I decided we might as well go back to the house. Finally, I can go to sleep after having a long day, even though I went to sleep earlier. But, that's right, Thor showed up at my doorstep, and he just wanted to talk.
I have need. Yes.
We then have a nice little sit-down talk with Thor, and then Odin shows up. Long story short, all I did was call Sif hot, and then he launched me into the sky. I don't really know what I did. Surprisingly, compared to Baldur's first fight, Thor was a complete pushover. This guy was super easy.
You spit on my son's memory. I can't believe they lost to you.
You're literally getting sauce. Get up.
I say when we're done.
Shut up. I think Thor got a little case of the colds while he was sitting outside waiting for me to open the door because this guy was just a pushover. He was like fighting a senior citizen. My son was harder to fight than him. After I gave Thor one good last punch and then decided... Thor then decided after that scream he wanted nothing to do with me, so he left. Battle with the God of Thunder. I died a singular time.
Me and Boy had a little argument because he wanted to show me this little mural thing, but I don't trust him anymore. I don't know why I don't trust him anymore, but I just don't. Anyway, it's now time to go slaughter every single person who lives in Asgard ever because I hate them all. Even though I don't trust Boy anymore, we're still gonna go to the mural. But now we have to talk about something because now there are the people with the extra health bars of effects. These effects, you're supposed to use the opposite effect to deal more damage to the health bar. But I can't. I just have to punch them. And most of the time it worked. Sometimes it got really, really bad though. But most of the time the enemies, it was just like 1 to 2. It was pretty easy. One I could take, but oh no. I can't take 2. These guys are harder than Thor. Eventually I took down these 2 crack addicts who thought I had a little bit in my pocket.
Purchase a skill.
Eventually I had to take down a whole family of drug dealers. It was getting bad.
Right as I thought things were going good for me, I got attacked by some lady. Some horse lady. Little does she know, the only thing Atreus is somewhat good for is hunting animals. Ah, thank you, Atreus. God! Yeah, this horse lady didn't even last a second. I killed her before she even got to attack me. Me and Boy finally made it to the mural where he showed me he has some secret powers that has been hiding from me, so I still can't trust him. And then we watched a slideshow. We then learn about Tyr, who's gonna lead us to battle, but eventually I'll probably kill him. You know, God of War, kill stuff. That's kind of my job. Once we return home, we find Sidri, who tells us about his new house, where we will eventually be staying because it's not safe for us with Odin. Yeah, why not? Upgrade to 1 piece of armor. You better like the sight of that achievement because I won't be getting one for another 7 hours. For right now, since my shield got broke by Horse Lady, I'm just gonna use the Dauntless shield, but eventually I switched to the Stonewall shield, but that's actually a lot longer down. Next, they decide to go to Svartalheim. Yeah, we're going here because we need a way to Asgard, and the only one that will know is the fat little guy named Durlin. You know, Svartalheim is pretty cool except for everything's trying to kill me, and everywhere I step I have to do a puzzle. When I got to the short people's sanctum, they sounded the alarm. They must not like people over 4 foot. Sindri gave Boy new arrows, which actually helps me a lot throughout this run because they do a lot of stun. What the? What? He did? What did he do? Throughout this platinum and run, I'll be focused on strength, defense, and vitality just because I want to do as much damage as possible and live for as long as possible. Sterling decides he doesn't want to help us at all, giving us no information, writing us a bill that obviously we did not follow, and then just going back to reading his book like we aren't even there. This guy's really lucky he's a midget because you can't kill midgets. You'll get too much hate. If you were a normal sized person, you'd be dead right now. It's now time to leave his little midget office. He's lucky I'm not going to throw a rock through his window. Come on. Come on. Oh my god! Kick him in the face. Kick him in the face. Let's go. We found this cute little sleeping thing. But then another one showed up and it wasn't so cute. So now we have to fight a Drekkie. Parried. Let's go. Let's go. Oh! No! I'm so nice! By the way, once we get to bigger boss fights, I'll actually show them more, but these are kind of just little mini bosses, so I'm not going to really show them.
Okay, you need to go left.
Who do you think you are?
Wait, I meant my left.
You said you meant your left. Your left is going forward!
Just a little to the left.
You were using your directions, not using mine. Me and Boy then make our way through the mine shafts because we're looking for Tyr, and supposedly he's here. There was a good chance that Tyr could get us to Asgard, so that's why me and Boy are searching for him. After many hours, I can hear this door calling out my name. I can just tell that someone behind it is gonna just be completely useless. That's right. If you couldn't tell by the subtle hits, Tyr was actually here. But as a former god of war like myself, I expected something that wasn't so pathetic. I expected not a hippie. When trying to return home, I had to protect this guy the entire way through. I mean, he was just like a little child. Just listen to this.
Shut up, bitch.
I don't even know why I recruited this guy. He doesn't have a way to Asgard. He doesn't help me. He just sits there. He doesn't want to fight. Like, go back to being in prison. I was so upset with my choices. Out of everyone, I picked that guy. And what makes it even worse now is now I have to play as Boy, because him and Sindri snuck off to do absolutely nothing. When playing as Atreus, you can do two things: shoot your arrows or hit with your bow. Now both of these use your weapons, so I'm just gonna hit with my bow, and I'll count that as melee since it's technically melee, but there's nothing else I can do about that. Surprisingly, Atreus' fighting style is actually kind of fun. Not gonna say I prefer it to Kratos, but it was pretty solid. Throughout all of Atreus' section, it's pretty simple, but a few enemies it forces you to use your bow on, and this is throughout the entire game when you play as Atreus. It's always gonna force you to use your bow in a couple of fights. Anyway, the whole reason I was here was because Atreus wanted to make amends with Freya by himself. What an idiot. Yeah, somehow that didn't work. Didn't see that coming. We then made it back to Sindri's, and nobody cares about Atreus, so they didn't care. And then we talked about going to Alfheim. I was about to leave to go to Alfheim when something caught my attention. It was a little creature, and this creature was a squirrel with an eye patch named Ratatasker. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I just left. I don't know. I kind of despise Alfheim, and especially just every elf that's ever lived there. So the whole race. If they just happen to all die off from a mass killing, hey, I'm not going to stop it. The whole reason for us being here is to reach the mural, so I just ran through the light temple for quite a while. We finally made it to the mural where Atreus uses little secret powers to open it up.
In this mural, we learn more about Asgard and how to stop it and how to get there. For once in his life, Tyr actually put in the work, and then he accidentally hurt him, and then he starts crying in the corner. And now I have to fight a boss all by myself because this guy wants to cry. I mean, look at the guy. What is he doing? Anyway, this boss couldn't handle me. I'm sorry.
Shield strike. Come on. Come on. Okay. Calm down. We are now on our way back to Sindri's because we're done with Alfheim. Break, squirrel.
Stop, stupid child! Got him. We fucking got him.
We got teleported into the mind of Boy, and now we're thinking about going somewhere, and this is the worst 2 hours of my life. That's right. It's time for Ironwood, which at first, seems pretty good. Until, once you meet Angrboda, it's just a Atreus spitting game for literally 2 hours straight. It was the worst gameplay experience of my entire life. A little while into going through Ironwood, Boy realizes Papa's gonna die? No. We then found out Atreus has some giant powers, of course, where he can take souls from bodies and put them in other bodies. But nobody cares. Let's just get on to the main part. So if any of y'all didn't know, you can't punch Gryla, which is a problem because I can't use my weapon. Now she'll have openings where she accidentally walks up too close and you can punch her, but that happens about one time every 30 minutes and I'm not mentally insane. So we're just gonna go ahead and fight this boss normally, because who wants to go ahead and fight the boss for 5 hours? Not me. She missed me. See, right here is the only time I'll be able to melee her. That is the only time right there, and that happens once a fight. I literally fought her a whole time and it happened one time.
Why are you even here?
You're bloody trash.
This shit means something to me, man.
Yeah, she might have been minding her own business and we took the only happiness in her life, but I got an achievement. Destroy Gryla's coffin or cauldron. Oh my god. I gave up on spitting game because it just wasn't working, so I went back home. Somehow Kratos knew exactly where I was coming from. I don't know what type of hacks he's got going on, but he thought I was at Asgard. And for this time, I wasn't. You know, everything was going alright until some random Valkyrie just decided to pop out. What the? Leave me alone! Compared to Valkyries in the other God of War game, this one is a joke.
She's relentless.
No, she's not really relentless, if I'm being honest. I'm not seeing any relentlessness. It's kinda just not really relentless at all. You are a trash Valkyrie, I can't lie. She may have killed me like once or twice, but eventually I took her down pretty easy. And by easy, I mean slamming her face into a wall for literally a minute straight. But something was off. Freya? No, this was so unexpected. How could the Valkyrie Queen be a Valkyrie? Freya decided she didn't want to kill us because she needs help herself of freeing her from Midgard. So, we're gonna go ahead and help her. She seems quite upset though. Battle the mysterious Valkyries. So yeah, it's off to Valheim. Running through Valheim, there's nothing too crazy to fight until a little bit later. And also we left Boy at the house because he kept running away. A little bit later on, we met Freya's brother, Freyr, who totally won't die. I then faced up with the Frost Ancient, who somehow just fell on the ground. Don't ask questions, and then I started pummeling him. Don't ask questions. But look at this strategic play that I totally did on purpose to do fist only, where I blew up the guy that could blow up, that somehow damages the rock elemental, so he died without me having to do anything. That's smart right there. I did that completely on purpose. Skipping a pretty easy boss, we now have to break the branches of the World Tree to free Freya. Oh, hello there! That's right, the protector of the World Tree, Nihal, came to stop us because we were breaking the branches. And if I'm being honest, this is one of the bosses I struggled with the most out of literally the entire game. Yep, that's right. This boss could 1 to 2 shot me, give me Bifrost, and just make my day completely worse. Meanwhile, while I'm punching her, it looks like I'm hitting her with a teddy bear. Oh my gosh, dude. This boss is annoying. Yeah, good damage. Yeah. You got it from here on out. You do more damage than I do. What is going on? The problem in the second stage of this fight is it forces you to use your weapons to get Nihal off of the pillars, but it actually doesn't do any damage, so it doesn't matter. You know what also doesn't do any damage? Me punching. After punching and shield bashing, a lot of shield bashing, Nihal finally went down. Let's go, man! Come on, man! That's too easy! Yeah. Whoa, hey! Yeah, come on, yeah! Yeah, surprisingly, you can actually take Nihal down fist only. You think you would use your weapons, but they don't do damage, so that's too easy! Freya then started aggressively ripping branches off to free herself. Hey, you're welcome, by the way. Freya was saying some confusing stuff about how she wanted to kill me, but then she didn't want to kill me. I mean, your son's neck is gone, so, I mean, it's whatever to me.
Wow, man. Damn.
I guess that's good enough. Equipped an enhancement. And battle... Nihal. You want me now? You want me or not? The sky then changed in front of our eyes because of Hati and Skull. I'm glad Atreus isn't here because he'd say some stupid stuff. Once we got back to camp, Freyr, who totally won't die, was confused because he didn't believe us that Freyr was actually with us. Well, she is. And nobody cares about you, Freyr. Then they had this weird moment. I don't feel safe. For literally no reason, Atreus started arguing with everyone. He then big bodies Kratos out of the way because he's too little, and then just runs away. Instead of being in Asgard, we're in Midgard, and I have to fight my way through it. And I gotta put up with Atreus for a good 2 hours. I hate this kid. The path through Midgard wasn't too bad, it was only a couple fights, so Odin's Raven teleported me to Asgard, where I climbed the wall and I met Heimdall. Like, Heimdall's a genuinely nice guy. Like, he helped me up, trained me for a little bit, and then I met Thor and Odin. Odin then gave me a nice little tour of Asgard because he wants to trick me, and I'm gonna fall for it. I don't like how there's 2 Valkyries right there. Anyway, who cares about what Odin's telling me because we have Sif right here. Oh!
Odin gave me a mask so I can help him find the rest of the pieces to it, and helping me will be big boy Thor. He looks like he cut down on some weight though, look at him.
Anyway, me and Thor like wiped out all of Muspelheim, and then picked up the mask piece. That's literally all that happened, there was nothing else. I mean, I guess we saw Angel Beta, and she told us about Surtur and Ragnarok, but I hate her. Anyway, I showed Odin the mask, and he was quite delected. Anyway, back to Kratos, and I'm gonna go try and find the Norns so we can get information, even though they're not gonna help at all. So we went off to Midgard to search around for a good hour. For no reason. On the way there was a random boss I had to fight. Basically, you have to knock down its health and then break the pillars to do all the damage. It's a really dumb boss.
but it's kind of fun. Yeah, and the end of it, this guy was not hard. Smashed his ball real quick.
What do you mean by that?
I don't get time to do anything! This part right here gave me some trouble just because there was so many enemies in a small space and they just kept coming. I couldn't kill them fast enough, but I got it eventually. We then rode on this magical seahorse, but not a seahorse, a horse that's in the sea. We then talked to the Norns and they literally were just being annoying. They didn't help us at all, so I spent an hour and a half just to be annoyed. That's it. Look at Kratos' face. Once we got back to Sindri's, we got the drop near, which will help us make a new weapon soon that I won't be able to use at all. For some reason, Sindri didn't want Brock to go. I don't know why. It's not like he died. Me and Brock happily punched our way through the forge, knowing that we're going to get a new weapon. The Lady of the Forge helped us make the drop near spear, which I can't use. The Lady of the Forge never could see Brock because a part of his soul was gone because he actually died. And when he died, Sindri brought him back to life, which... unfortunate for him, I guess. Odin then shows up with that random little midget that we talked to at the start of the game for no reason, looking like he's this little child. Like, look at him, just sitting there. Odin then told us how Boy's having a great time and he's choosing to stay there on his own. I'm gonna kill you. I then had another fever dream and then woke up in Boy's body yet again, even though I brutally murdered her brothers. Thrud is chill with me. And a little bit later, Odin sends me, Thrud, and Heimdall to go retrieve another mask piece. So we go to Helheim, and then Heimdall just leaves us. So now it's just me and Thrud, but the thing is, Thrud is crazy OP as a partner. So actually, she just helped me storm roll this entire area. So yeah, we breezed this area very easily. Then we found this big wolf, and we decided, yeah, let's just free it, for no reason. It could tear holes through reality. Oh wait, that's what it does. Oh yeah, the mask piece wasn't even here. So Thrud was pretty mad, and Heimdall started weaving everything. Finally, I decided, yeah, I want to go home now, after being a runaway child. And Odin just let me go, surprisingly. But when I got back, they were all getting attacked by people from Helheim who looked like they were coming through a portal. Huh. Wonder who did that.
I thought that if...
Garm! Great bleeding fuck, lad!
So the wolf that Boy freed is named Garm, and it's really dangerous to the entire realm, so we have to go kill it. Oh my god, remember the Spartan teachings. What does that even mean? So yeah, back to Helheim and skipping a lot of stuff, back to Garm. You know, this time I think our damage was sort of mediocre. Like, I can kind of see it tickling his health down just a tiny bit. Anyway, the Garm fight was pretty straightforward. Just keep parrying until he gets near you and punch him, and then he'll stay on the ground for a good bar of health, or at least enough health to make me feel like I'm doing something. What I just said is basically what I did the entire fight, and this fight's multiple stages, so I died, but I still have my progress. Just like the Needhog fight, it makes you use one of your weapons to progress through the fight, but the problem with this one is it does damage. I can't do anything about that though, guys. You're just gonna have to suck it up. So yeah, Garm was pretty easy compared to Needhog, and clearly Kratos thought so too.
La 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 la.
Oh, okay, no, battle Garm. You know, you remember like 1 second ago when we just killed Garm? Well, he's back. I don't know how he's still alive, but we gotta fight him again. So yeah, you fight him again, and he's really not any different. You just punch him again. So yeah, remember when I was talking about how we'll see Fenrir again? Well, we inserted Fenrir's soul into Garm. So now we just have a big pet. Once we got back to Sindri's, we were told that Freya got captured by the Aesir, and now we have to go save him. But before we left, I upgraded some stuff, and... obtain all shields! So off to Vanaheim we went, where we met a black guy and Heimdall. Yes, overall running through Vanaheim wasn't too bad. The enemies weren't horrible to fight. Wait, Heimdall. Heimdall has multiple stages, his first one being this little horse tiger, whatever you want to call this. And I switched to the Stonewall shield, so instead of parrying stuff, I can just block every yellow ring attack now. So it makes every fight a lot easier. Anyway, his little pet is a straightforward fight, not too hard, so I easily took it down. Turns out it's true, and you physically cannot hit Heimdall at all. So, yep, that's right. To even start the fight with Heimdall, you have to use your spear. I'm sorry they made the game like this. And once you use your spear to stagger him a couple times, Kratos lands a punch, and now you can actually start the fight fist only. But the only time you can actually hit Heimdall with your fist is when he leaves himself open with big attacks, so usually after the red mark attacks. Oh yeah, and he also has an extra shield of health, and unlike normal enemies, when I punch him, it literally does 1/100th of the bar. I'm not mentally insane, I'm just going to use my spear for this one. So yeah, if you exclude that part, I took down the first phase of Heimdall pretty easily. No troubles really. Let's go. You're trash.
Fuck! That's all this is!
Luck? Oh, luck! Oh my god! Blow it up. Let me blow it up. That's what I'm talking about. That's just cheating. The second phase is similar to the first phase, except for he can slow me down. He has a couple new moves, and he's really aggressive, so it leaves him for more openings. So, really, it's not like the first phase. So, specifically in the second phase is when I found out the Stonewall Shield is crazy OP, because he has a lot of yellow ring attacks that usually you would have to parry, but I just have to sit behind my shield the entire time. It's super easy. This specifically made me want to use the shield for the rest of the game, which I did. Come on, man! That's too easy! Oh, my mirror. Oh my, I cannot show this. Blur this. Blur this. We're killing him. We got to. Mimir, we got to, bruh. He said he was gonna gut our child. Battle Heimdall.
Anyway, we save Freya, who's totally not going to die later, and then this guy, who's a rando, decided he's going to become the main character.
Here it goes. He's gonna sacrifice himself for no reason. There was no point. We have like 8 people with bows on board.
We then met back up at Sindri so we can discuss a game plan about Ragnarok, but Atreus decided maybe I should go back to Asgard to finish the mask. This time it wasn't for him to be a disobedient teen, it was actually a game plan. For once. But also Angry Brother showed up to take care of Fenrir. We're just going to leave them with that. We're going to try to go through this part as quick as possible because who cares about Atreus, right? The last mask piece is in Niflheim and we're going to go with Thor. The only problem is Thor is a little tipsy, some would say. And then like a whole bar fight started. It was cool cinematic wise, but nobody cares. Going through Niflheim was really easy because Thor's OP and we got the last mask fragment.
His father murdered Heimdall.
Nope. I have no idea what you're talking about. I ran away, by the way. So we meet back up at Cinder's after that happened, and randomly Tyr decided he wants to lead everyone, and now he is away. He also killed Brock. That's unfortunate for him. He's died twice. Wait, what? Odin? I had no idea. How? He tried to run away with the mask, but Kratos shut that down. Oh yeah, Brock's like actually dead this time. Me and Atreus quit, and then we went right back, like 10 minutes later. So that was our final straw. It's time to start Ragnarok. Everyone went to different realms. We went to Muspelheim to create Ragnarok himself. After fighting a flame phantom and 2 ancients that were in our way, we made it to Surtur.
Surprisingly, bro was kind of chill about just dying, so we stabbed him. I think he died. No. Are those two Valkyries? You know, most people would probably think, oh, this is gonna be horrible, but it was actually really easy, especially the first and second phase. That's right, there's 3 phases. But the first 2 phases are a joke. Wait, this is so easy. There's no way! There's no way! Excluding that death, just look at the amount of damage I can do when I'm hitting both of them at the same time. It's insane. So we just skipped the second phase because I killed them instantly. What if I just don't? Look, oh my god, no, Kratos, help your child. Second phase was the exact same as the first one, except for they had a couple new attacks. So it was just as easy. I beat it. And just like in the other phases, they take a lot of damage still, and they have a couple new attacks. Other than that, it's the exact same fight 3 times. It's honestly really easy. Yeah, I easily beat this boss. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot harder. Oh my gosh. He just ripped her in half. Battle Hrist and missed.
We all met up at Tyr's temple so we can take a nice rest the day before starting Ragnarok. I'm gonna die. I gave a nice speech before we go into Ragnarok, and I blew the horn. We began our raid on Asgard, and there were a lot of fights that gave me trouble here, more than usual. But as per usual, I persevered in every single one of them. We even have Jormungandr here, and finally Surtur showed up. It was all going semi-decent after that until Thor decided to show up.
Do you remember at the start of the video when I said Thor was insanely easy compared to Baldur? Well, also this is the same here. He is still very easy. Sure, he had 2 to 3 more attacks that I had to get used to, but eventually, they weren't hard to dodge. Let's go! Big body! He caught me on. Thor's last stage felt oddly the same as it did in the start of the game. He just gains a couple new lightning AoE attacks and just adds lightning to his other attacks. It's really not that difficult. And then let's just use that. And then you should be about dead. Let's just get out of that. And then boom, baby! Yeah. I think I died a good 4 times on Thor. Saying that he's the second last boss fight in the game. You would expect a little bit more. But I decided, why kill him? Why not become friends? Well, that didn't last long. On to the Odin boss fight. For Odin's first phase, I can hold up my shield and all of his attacks just rain useless, except for the Ice Beam attack. That's the only one that I have to care about. He then splits the ground like he's in Ice Age, and he basically has all the same attacks, except for one of the pieces of land just light up and you have to jump off of it or you will die instantly. Then he'll do this super insane attack where he lights up 2 pieces of land instead of 1. Yeah, that's right, guys. This boss fight was not hard. She's really calling you a good boy. Wow. Okay, now we go into the real boss fight where he actually has hard moves to dodge, but I also have Atreus and Freya, so now I do double the damage with them. Well, I first tried his first phase of the second fight, or his third phase if you want to call it that. I first tried that, it was easy. Now on to the second part. In this phase he gets multiple elemental health bars, but when I punch him this time it actually goes down, unlike Heimdall, so I'm going to keep doing it. All around he had some hard attacks, but most of the time I just dodged right and backwards at the same time, and it would work every single time. Like every attack you could just dodge right and backwards, or left and backwards, and it would work. And obviously for the attacks I can block, I just sat behind my shield and waited. You're bloody trash! I'ma keep pummeling you! I'ma keep pummeling you!
Shut up, bitch!
Atreus then sucked Odin's soul into this little ball, and he was gonna spare his life and keep him in the ball forever, but Sindri wasn't having it at all. Come on, Sindri know what to do? Sindri know about that work, baby! He know about it. Oh yeah, remember when I said Freya was gonna die like 27 times? Well, here it comes. For no reason. What? Why is he sacrificing himself? The dude literally could run with us. Anyway, everyone was alive except Freya, because he died. Battle the Allfather. What a journey. We finally get to our last mural, and Atreus goes away. And I learned that I'm going to be the Allfather. What? I'm God? Oh, no. Yeah, so like I said, Atreus went on his own adventure with Angrboda. So, now it's just me, Freya, and Mimir. And we have to take on the rest of the Platinum. Anyway, remember how Brock died? Well, we're doing a proper send-off for him. I might have made some jokes about it, but rip to the homie for real. Attend the funeral. That gets me hype. I then spent a good 5 to 6 hours to get my health and rage all the way up by collecting these chests around the realm. These chests either give you a horn, which upgrades your rage, or an apple, which upgrades your health. And you need 15 of each to get the achievement. When trying to get one of the chests, I found this mysterious orb, and then I gave this orb to Lunda. Fetch Lunda's orb? Oh my god, it's an achievement?
The Twilight Stone give you the angle you need, brother.
Buddy! Thank you, Mimir! I didn't know that! Oh, we did it! Whatever they're called, Noni or Apple, all the apples and all the rage medallions, whatever. I then went and got every single part for the amulet. That way I can be as strong as possible for the rest of the game. But the only problem is there's this one part right here where it didn't give me the amulet because I didn't do the mission with it. So, I spent 45 minutes doing the mission. Once I did that, this was the last one I needed, so I just upgraded it. Fully repair the amulet and get your seal. Let's go. When I was doing that last quest, I found and moved a big hammer that gave me a small hammer that I'm going to give to this little midget guy that was with Odin that one time. Return the hammer of the rebellion. Remember Ratatasker? Well, he has a couple of achievements attached to him, so we're going to go ahead and do those. But before we do that, I fought a dragon. That's pretty cool. All I had to do is get all 4 stags, which was not hard at all. Return the stags of the 4 seasons. And for the second one I have to just Ghostbuster capture all the lindworms that are left. There are only 6, and they come from Needhog. Basically, he's just building a big family. I gave him all the lindworms that I had, and I got the achievement. Return all the lindworms to Ratatasker. I'm gonna try and speed up some of the more normal achievements from like side missions and things, because there's nothing really to talk about. So, there's this big island, and we freed him. And then I got the achievement. Apparently Freya had a random sword locked up, so we fought some enemies to help her out, and she tried to pull it out, failed, and I was like, I'm not doing it. And I skipped the cutscene, because who cares? Anyway, she got the sword and I got my achievement. I then freed a couple of jellyfish. Free the Hafgufas. Hey, it's gone. Oh, whoa, I don't want to see this. Before we go into the next thing, I followed Berserker on the way there, and I will need to defeat all these so I can fight the Berserker King for an achievement. But we'll get to that later. For some reason, I had to fight this random little guy so I can pet my dogs. So there's a place in Vanaheim called the Crater, which I had unlocked through a mission, but I didn't show you because it didn't really matter. But there are a lot of dragons and drekkies here that you have to fight so you can make the dragon armor. Also in the crater are things called crater hunts where there are different types of creatures that you have to go fight. Mostly dragons, and I went and did that for a little while. Pro just dies? Oh, he was about to fly off. Oh, come on! I was about to die. Anyway, I did the last crater hunt where I had to fight 2 drekkies and got the achievement. The last thing I have to do before the collectible grind are the trials of Muspelheim, and this time there are only 3 swords that you have to do, but there's 3 trials in each sword, and you have to do the 3rd trial for each sword multiple times. You have to do them multiple times because there's a 4th sword at the very end that you can only unlock by doing a certain combination between the 3 swords. So like, 1st sword and then 3rd sword is a different challenge for the 4th sword. And then the 3rd sword and the 2nd sword is a different challenge for the 4th sword. So the 4th sword has multiple different challenges. It's hard to explain if you haven't played it, but if you played it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, just know that I had to do it a lot of times. Eventually, after 2 hours, I got to the last challenge where I had to take down a flame phantom, and it was pretty easy. So, I got my achievement. Doing all these trials allowed me to upgrade my last piece of armor that I needed for a fully upgraded armor set. Okay, so now onto the collectible grind, and the collectible grind compared to God of War 2018 is a joke. Like everything else in this game, apparently. I don't know if I was just more prepared this time and I prepared before or what, but I already had more than half of everything. If you didn't see in the background, I collected a flower from every 9 realms, which gave me an achievement. Just so you know, throughout this collectible grind, I will be fighting berserkers, and you won't be seeing any of these boss fights just because the last berserker has all of their boss fights combined, so there's no point in me really showing you this. So there's an artifact type revolved around poems, and I just have to collect this one type to get an achievement because it's related with Freya. I do have to collect all the artifacts, but that's in about 30 seconds.
And by 30 seconds, I mean now, because there are 38 artifacts in the game, and I just had one more to collect. I wish I could give you more details, but really, I just gave you all of them. There's 5 sections and 38 artifacts. There's not much more to it.
Okay, so the last collectible grind that I have actually ties to with the Berserker King, because he also gives a sword hilt. That's right, the last thing I have to do is sword hilts, and they're kind of annoying actually. Every sword hilt is really easy. They drop off of bosses, or some of them just are on the ground. But the last 2 are really annoying because you have to get every Odin Raven, and then you have to be the Berserker King. So right now, I'm getting every Odin Raven. So right here, I actually got every Odin Raven. It only took me about 40 minutes because I had over 3/4 of them. And the last thing you have to do is fight this boss, and it will give you the sword hilt. Okay, that scared me. I thought I didn't get it at first. These right here were the last Berserkers I had to fight. There were actually 3 of them in this one boss fight. It was really annoying, but I got it done. And this allowed me to fight the Berserker King. Before we go into the last 2 final boss fights of this game, let me just show you my build. Basically, I'm all in on damage, defense, and health. Staying alive and doing as much damage as possible, as everyone should be. Let's see how much damage I do to this boss. He is not that strong. We should be too bad, actually. Okay, so this boss and Gná are completely easier than Sigurd, which was the last boss of God of War. Like, completely. This boss has every single berserker attack that all the berserkers had, but the thing is, all those attacks are semi-easy to dodge. They're not like insanely hard to dodge. And also, when you just sit behind a shield the entire time, it makes it a lot easier. So Berserker Shield, I 100% recommend. Are you serious? Can I stop selling, bro? This guy was not hard at all. I actually thought he was going to be a lot harder than he was. This guy was quite the piece of cake. What was that, 5 tries? 5 or 6 tries? Obtain all relics and sword hilts and battle King Horulf. Alright, it's now time to fight the big bad Valkyrie Queen. Just like Sigurd, I'm expecting this to take a good 5 to 6 hours. Oh, yep, that's right. These are my first 2 attempts, and both these attempts I got her to 3 bars. With Sigurd, it probably took me 4 to 5 hours to get her to 3 bars, and then another hour to beat her. It was horrible. But why is this so easy for me? Well, I'm here to tell you that her base attacks are just like Sigurd's. Every single step. Except for she has to get like 4 to 5 new moves, but they didn't take too long to learn. So basically, after learning her new moves, it was just like fighting Sigurd. When I have 6 hours of fighting Sigurd, I know how to fight her, so it was really easy for me. Other people who haven't fought Sigurd probably thought this boss was very difficult, but it was just like fighting her, so I was kind of used to it.
Nigga, sit your ass down.
Alright, so we saw that, right guys? So you're telling me I don't even get to deal the final blow? It was Freya with her bow? Come on, man! I was so locked in, somehow my mic was muted, and I realized halfway through celebrating. I cannot show that on YouTube. Battle Gná, collect all trophies. Well, if you watch all the way to the end and you enjoyed, please leave a like and possibly subscribe. It would help out the channel a whole lot. And be ready for a DLC video on this game soon.